It is Monday morning, guys. Whew. Man, dudes, I'm not feeling it.
It's a Monday. You gotta love them.
It definitely seems like you're not in a. You are more in a Monday funk than the other day.
Yeah,
Sounds like we need to talk to people.
we do.
Well, you're right. I mean, that pumps you up when you can rub shoulders with people of like mind and like vision. That definitely makes you feel better.
And that works for you, but not really for me.
Yeah, but you get all excited and no more Monday blues. It's the Friday woohoos.
Well, okay. So,
Friday woos.
what about you, Jay? I mean, what do you like to do when you're in the blasé? When you got the Monday funk.
The Monday funk. I just go back to sleep.
Well, that's not.
I
an
got kids.
option.
It doesn't happen that way, really. But that's what I like to do.
I know. I really do think when you can make that personal connection with people in the community or the people that are around you, it helps you. I believe that very, very much. And I'm just not feeling it. So I say I just go on out to Always Always Land and see if I can connect with some. How's that sound?
Let's do it.
He remembered always.
He did. Kind of surprised of him.
Oh, man.
Hey, Dan.
It's good to see you,
Good
dude.
to see you.
I'll tell you what. So I got to the office. I was like, I couldn't deal with it. It's just not one of those mornings to get going. And I said, I need to go find a friend. And lo and behold, on the OBU campus, I find Ryan Brooks.
Yeah.
How are you doing today?
Doing good. Enjoying the beautiful weather we've got today. Thought I would sit out on the patio to soak it in, you know?
Man, I've been doing that over and over and over since the heat let up. I can tell you, I was downtown yesterday, had a great morning. I was out on the patio. You know, I don't think many people have figured out the patios yet. I mean, as we get more into autumn, it's going to happen.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you did. You made it easy to find. Like I said, I just need to talk to somebody because my morning is it's a slugfest.
I feel you. Yeah, Monday mornings can start out that way for sure. So it's good to have people around to kind of get you started for the week.
Well, you do that a lot. I mean, Ryan, you guys have 500 OBU students that go into the elementary schools each week. Tell me, refresh my memory on that,
Yeah.
how that works?
Yeah, so we have a partnership that we started with OBU Athletics back in 2018 to get every single student athlete serving in the schools. So we started this week with, I think we're at 8 or 9 different schools right now that we'll be going into on Monday mornings. And they each athlete is paired with a kid that they meet with, the same kid every week for about 30 to 40 minutes and get to kind of connect and build a relationship through that and hopefully be able to help each other out because it's just as much of a it can have just as much impact on the mentor as it does the kid involved, and that's what we hope for.
So I remember when I was in 5th and 6th grade, I mean, those college kids seemed so old. I mean, they really did. They seemed so far beyond anything. And being able to have one as a friend who plays athletics, especially, how cool that must be.
No, I mean, like, they're kind of treated, one of the principals, like, when we did orientation this week, was like, you're going to be treated like royalty, like, walking into here, because these kids, like, like, seeing, like, the college athletes coming into the schools, like, it's very exciting for them, and, like, to be able to have that, like, connection one-to-one and have, like, an athlete that's there just for you is, like, really special. And I think for a lot of these kids, it's something they're going to remember well past the 5th grade or 4th grade, whatever grade they're in.
Well, I'm sure that since you're working with OBU institution like this, they've got some facts about whether they like it or not. What about this? What about those athletes going in? How do they like it when they work with the kids?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that I think initially for a lot of the athletes say, maybe not even a lot, but for some it's uncomfortable because they haven't ever been in that type of setting before, and it's new to them. But I mean, as soon as like they get to meet their buddy and like get to connect, like you can see the joy that it brings each athlete, as much as it brings joy to the kid. We do like surveys like every like 6 months to kind of just see, like, get feedback and kind of see how things are going with the athletes. And the last round of surveys that we did, we had I think 92% of the athletes say that they were impacted through the program, and that it was the program was helpful in them being able to build like a relationship with that child. I know OBU does like surveys whenever students are exiting and have graduated, and time and time again, I'm told by Anna Howe, who helps out tremendously with Bison Buddies program, that a lot of the athletes put Bison Buddies as one of the things that has been most impactful for them in their time at OBU. So that's something that's really cool, I think, to be able to see how we're able to like engage athletes and be able to have them serving outside of OBU, even in the schools, and being able to make an impact in a real way through that like actually changes them. So
I can just imagine, man. And you just talking about changes, you just went through a name change yourself with your organization. Now you call yourself Uplift Mentoring?
Yes, Uplift Mentoring.
And you are focused on mentoring. Why, how is it important to the elementary kids? Do you have a story, or do you have a kid, or, something you can tell me?
Yeah, I think one of
I need some uplifting this morning.
Yeah. So I think one of the things that I've already kind of mentioned a little bit, but like really what we want to do through those one-on-one mentoring relationships is create like a connection between that mentor and the mentee. That's a safe place for them to be able to share what's going on in their lives. So the need is great in our city, and it's great really anywhere you look. There's a lot of kids that are going without and don't have that support, and what we want to do is to be able to close that mentoring gap and make sure that every kid in our community has someone they can go to talk about what's going on in their lives. For me personally, Bison Buddies mentoring is something that has like impacted me firsthand. When I was in high school, my older brother passed away, and that was a really, really hard thing for me to have to go through. And I was kind of stuck in that loss and in that grief for a long time, and I needed someone to really be able to be there for me and be able to help me with where I was at. And I had a wonderful, loving family that are amazing people, but I needed someone outside of that to really be able to just share what was going on in my mind. And because I internalize things a lot, and I know the impact that person had on my life, and helping me be able to overcome hard things like that. And we really want to be able to do that at Uplift, is be able to connect caring adults with kids in our community, and be able to share like whether they're having a good day or a bad day. I mean, we've got stories of like Bison Buddies, like kids that are like sharing with their buddies like really hard things that they're going through. Like I know one of them last year like had some her mom was going through like some health issues, and that was really like creating a lot of like stress and like anxiety for her. And that mentor was able to really just help her through that and be able to just be a safe place for her to come and just talk for 30 minutes, like what we're doing here, and connecting. Like that's what we want to be able to do, is really just provide that opportunity for that to happen and provide the space for that to happen.
Well, I mean, you're really easy to connect with, Ryan. I'm glad that I ran into you of all people. And thanks for sharing that with me. I mean, that's got to be rugged. I lost a sister my first day of my senior year in high school. She was 27 years old, about to be 28. And, I got home from school that day, and I knew it had been the best day of my life. I had gone to 4 different high schools at that point, and I really felt accepted, and I really thought this is the best school day that I've had that I can ever remember. And that night when my head was going to the pillow, there was a knock on our door, and just out of the blue it said, inside of me, it said, "Don't let it be Colleen." And she was thousands of miles away. And sure enough, that morning she had been murdered. And so my best day, my sister had actually, died. And I had a lot to deal with there. And just having somebody to be able to talk to,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, how huge is that? It's kind of like on Monday morning.
Yeah.
Just being able to find you. What do you got for the rest of the day, man? What are you doing right after this?
We've got a Buy Somebody fun run that's coming up, a mile fun run that we actually do on OBU campus.
Oh, cool.
It happens down University, and then they finish. The kids finish on the track with the cheerleaders cheering them on at the finish line, and we have all the athletes spread out through the course.
So you're going to
cheer
go
people
practice
on.
a mile?
So
you're going to run?
I'm not. I mean, I love to run, but
Yeah.
I will not be participating in the. Well, I say that I did participate last year with Collins, my oldest daughter. So I might have to.
Well, you're a runner.
Go another
You were an athlete.
I know a lot of people don't classify like fun in the same sentence as running, but
Yeah.
it can be fun,
They're-
and you can walk. It's
they're
not a competitive.
fun run.
Yeah, it's not a competitive thing. Like, it's just we're out there having fun. But it's a way for us to be able to just provide a fun event for the kids in our community. So that will be happening Saturday, October 28th.
Okay.
And we'll have OBU will actually be having athletics sport clinics afterwards, so that will be free for all of the kids that sign up for the fun run.
And they don't have to be a part of Bison Buddies to do it.
No.
Anybody in the community,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so there's a $20 entry fee. You get that includes the run and the sports clinics, and then kids have a free ticket to the OBU football game that will be happening that afternoon. They'll get a finisher's medal as well as a T-shirt for participating.
Cool. That's really good.
And it's close to Halloween, so we do like costumes are encouraged. So last year we had some pretty interesting costumes of kids running in the event, so that was pretty funny.
So even if you don't want to run, you could bring the kids down and have some fun, walk along the sidewalk, all encased here on the campus of OBU.
Yes, yeah.
Well, who are you going to be meeting up with to do that stuff later?
Your daughter, Fhionna Shaughnessy.
No way.
Yep.
Oh, another person I should see on this Monday. You're going to see her.
Yeah. So it'll
cool.
be she's as you know, she's a board member for Uplift Mentoring, and is also part of Shawnee Forward. So she's going to be helping me with just making people aware of what we're doing with that event.
She's a good
Try to
one.
raise
What a
some funds.
light. And just hearing her name helped me out too. I think I'm going to track her down too.
You should, yeah.
Oh man, Ryan, thanks, dude. I'm going to let you get back to work.
All right.
I got to
Good to
get
see
back
ya.
to work.
Yeah.
I got some more people to go find, possibly, but you uplifted me. Thanks, man.
See ya.
See you later.
Mr. Daniel.
Pastor Cory.
No, just call me Cory.
What's going on, man?
How are you, sir?
I'm good.
Good.
Do you
good.
have a minute?
Absolutely.
I
do.
have kind of the Monday blues going.
Gotcha.
And so I told the guys I'm going to step out and I'm going to go talk to some people and try to get a fill up.
Gotcha. Well, I'm glad you stopped by.
Well, I was talking to Ryan a
Okay.
minute ago, and Ryan Brooks, it reminded me, had said some very nice things about Pastor Cory.
Oh, okay.
And then I visited, actually, and you were not here, Cory. And the guy on stage, Joey, was saying some very nice things
I paid all those guys to say nice things about
Pastor
me. Yeah,
Cory.
yeah.
And dude, I just need some friendliness today. You know,
Gotcha.
it's just been a rough Monday morning. So I thought I'd come and see Cory. You and I have never really talked.
Yep.
I wanted to get to know you a little bit.
Well,
so,
I'm glad you stopped in, man. I'm glad you stopped in.
so what's it about in Cory's life, man?
Oh, goodness, man. Right now it's about kids growing up. I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old. 5-year-old just started kindergarten. And so we're adjusting to the official school life. They had been in like a Parents' Day Out program, but
Yeah.
official school life. And then I have a wife, Devin, at home. And so a lot of it is family based. And then obviously work and stuff kind of fills up the rest of my life. But family's the big thing.
Well, the one who brought me was family. It was Fhionna, actually.
Oh, yeah.
And she loves you guys. She says that you've made a great impact in her life. And so I need impact this morning, Cory. What do you got for me, Pastor?
Well,
I mean, I say Cory, but also I'm like, dude, I need a fill up.
Well, it's funny. It's funny you mentioned Fhionna. Fhionna played a pretty large role in my family coming to Shawnee. So we had no connection to Shawnee. We talked about a job here, so we came up for an interview, and we had about an hour in the city, literally. So we went to a restaurant, we walked around a little bit, and then as we were leaving, I just got on my phone and I Googled Chamber of Commerce. I said, I'm just going to go in. And so I walked into, not the Chamber of Commerce, Shawnee Forward, and Fhionna was sitting there. And I said, my name's Cory, I don't live here. There's a chance that I move here in the future. And I literally just said, tell me why or why not. Why should I move to Shawnee or why should I not move to Shawnee? Now I know that Fhionna was the perfect person to run into on that day. And so she loves Shawnee. She gushed about Shawnee. And I got back in the car with my wife and I said, I mean, really, that was one of the things that was like, okay, like this might be it. And here we are 2 years later.
Wow.
So cool. It's cool that you bring up Fhionna. She really played a role in us getting here.
Dude, that might have been why I was supposed to come by here today because, I don't know if you realize it yet, but 5-year-old and 3-year-old, man, you're in it. And it's just rolling. And it's not that it goes slow because you have those days like today for me in which you're like, what am I doing?
Oh, yes.
But it just rolls. But, they really do talk about that time in which that's no longer there. And having stories told to me about one of my kids that's a positive story means so much to rejuvenating a dad or a granddad. Dude, I don't know that you could have shared anything better for me today than a story about one of my children impacting you in a positive way.
Well, I mean it. So we met her that day. I talked to her for, it was 5 or 10 minutes. It wasn't a long time, but it left an impact on me. And then when we officially moved to Shawnee and the church starts getting up, we called it an interest meeting. So it was like, we're relaunching this church. If you're interested, come on out. And I don't know how she heard about it. I think Fhionna knows everything that happens in the city. And she just showed up. And I saw her walk in, and I think I got like too excited to see her because at first she was like, wait, who is this guy? But then it was like the light bulb came on and she was like, oh my gosh, you're the guy from my office. And so it was really cool. And then, and I mean, even to take a step further, when we first moved here, we didn't know anybody. And my wife kept her job from Dallas, where we moved from, but it became a from home job. So we anticipated that loneliness would be a fight sometimes with my wife because she's not going into the office every day. She's not rubbing shoulders with new coworkers. And pretty early on, Fhionna took her to lunch a couple of times and just really gave her someone to sit at lunch with when those people weren't readily available to her just yet. So she's made an impact for us.
Thank you very much. So I believe that's how God works.
Yeah.
I believe that God works through people.
Absolutely.
And it's not always the same. And I like the term messy for that because honestly, I think God is a lot more messy than we give him credit for. Yeah. And we try to so often just make it look like it's not. And this might be a weird question for a pastor, but what does God look like to you, Cory?
That's a good question. So this may sound cliche, but truly, God looks like what Jesus looked like when he was on the earth. That's what the Bible tells us. He is the image of the invisible God. He's what God looks like when God dresses with human skin, right? And so the way he treated people, that's what God looks like. And the way he was involved with people that maybe were less fortunate, or people who other people didn't have the time of day for, or people who were really caught up in their own mess. I think that's what God looks like. God looks like getting down, messy. That's a good word. Getting down in the dirt with people and in the details of their lives and caring enough to sit with them in it.
Well, today, just by letting me walk in the door and actually meet the guy who's I'm telling you, it's more than 3 people have said, this is the friendliest guy. This is the friendliest guy. And that's what I needed, was a friend. Can I give you a hug,
I'm
Pastor?
I'm a hugger.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a hugger.
Man, so good to meet you.
Thank
And
you,
I look
Brandon.
forward to visiting again
Come on. Come on.
later.
See you later, man.
Oh my gosh.
No way.
Looky who's
Look at what
here.
I'm looking at.
This is practically, next step is Vogue. Okay, you heard it here first. First Shawnee
That's
Outlook.
right.
This is a dream of mine. Dream of mine come true.
Dream on, sweetheart.
With some of
I
my
love
favorite humans. I love it.
it. Well, I was having such a hard morning, and I went and I talked with Ryan, and he mentioned he was going to be going somewhere with you.
Yes.
And then where I went and talked to Cory,
Cory Webb.
and he mentioned you. Then
No,
I
Dad.
got
why
home.
are you skipping every detail? I want
Then
to know.
I got home, and this was in the mail, and your mom gave me the cutest book,
Oh.
The Old Man. And I want you to read this.
Okay.
Read that.
Is it
real
about
quick.
you, old man? Just kidding. Okay. Are you crying?
I want you to take your sunglasses off because I want to see your eyes.
Mm-hmm. Oh. That's me. You're funny. You look like a teddy bear. Oh. Teddy. Oh. That is sweet. That's very sweet.
Isn't that?
Yes.
And then you walk up.
Uh-huh.
And it's so funny because the way that the other people that I just had talked to this morning, and again, this morning was hard, but they said the nicest things about you, Fhionna. And when I read the book, I thought that was you too.
Oh, Dad, thank you. And what's funny is there was an old man in New York City when I lived there who, there's a huge ice storm, and he was on my commute to work every day. And so when the ice storm came, we did hang out for a little bit. And so that reminded me of my old man in New York City. So I loved that.
It's pretty cool when you, when you just do the best that you can at loving other people. And in The Old Man by Sarah and Claude Dubois, it was the little girl who gave a name to someone,
Oh, yes.
and they received it on the inside and smiled. And then they were able to go on with the day. And that's kind of what happened with me today with the people that I've been able to run into.
Yeah,
And then-
two of my favorite humans.
And then you walk up.
Then I walk up. Heck yes.
And so
It's all meant to be for a reason, always.
I want to say,
every
though,
interaction.
on the rise, on this, that's because this is your young professional group that you guys started.
Toss. Yes.
Tell me about the young professionals. What's going on now that you're on the front page of the Shawnee Outlook?
Oh, well, this is what's going on. Are you kidding? I love it. Well, I'm really.
Dinsmore's doing a good job.
He is.
With this.
He is. David Dinsmore. He's amazing.
So, Potawatomi County Young Professionals.
Yes. Well, what I'm loving, so I'm the chair of Potawatomi County Young Professionals, and what I'm loving is the true relationships being built. obviously we formed the young professionals with the intent of enhancing the workforce, because we all agree that you have to love where you work in order to stay there and be really good at your job. And so a lot of other organizations similar to Shawnee Forward, where I work, has branched off and created young professionals groups because of that reason. And so that is totally why we started it, for the workforce aspect of everything. But now, after the meetings, we have professional development meetings, we have lunch meetings with 30 people or sometimes 8 people, a small intimate group. And every time seeing different relationships being built and seeing that the young professionals in the community are joining, yes, because of their job is asking them to join, but also they're just citizens that want to get plugged in, because in our community, there is a gap of, we have great things to do for the kiddos, and we have great things to do with the established professionals. We have, golf courses and great places to eat and everything. But then there's the middleman of, we're figuring our life out. Do we want to stay here? Do we not want to stay here? And so I found, being a part of a group that actually cares for the community and wants to give back, and we want to brainstorm, and we want to create grab everyone's ideas and incorporate a big image for young professionals. And so just seeing everyone connect the dots within themselves and within their own relationship has been so eye-opening to me. And so I encourage all young professionals to get plugged in to any young professional group around them for that aspect, because like you said, some days are hard. And even whenever people come up to me and they're like, "Oh, Fhionna, how do you do it?" I'm like, "No, I don't." Like not every day is gung-ho happy. And it's not like that for anyone. Everyone I've talked to about that will say, "Oh, you just have to ride the waves. You have to do that." And so it's really good to have days like this, and I'm so blessed to run into my father on days like this, but also for the people who are maybe transports or not from here, to have that not shoulder to cry on, but also the arm to help lift them up too. And so that's what I'm excited for, mostly.
I'm so thankful, Fhionna, for you to be here. And I know for a fact one of the reasons why there's been a push for the young people to stay has been from parents like me who grow up, and then we watch our kids go away. And having a group that cares, of your own age, that you guys can have vision, and you guys can know that, no, this is your town, is so gratifying for me as a parent, because 5 of my 6 kids live here, and the 6th one is maybe coming back, and it's because of community like you're trying to build, or you're doing so well at with your Potawatomi County Young Professionals.
Thank you. And I do have to say, it is because of adults like you and mentors like you that we're able to cast a broad vision, because we can see what has been done in the past, and we want to learn from those established professionals in the community. So in no way, shape, or form are we plowing down and coming in and saying we're making all this change. Yes, that's the impact we want, but also we want voices from the older generations, younger generations. We want to implement that into the future quality of life for Shawnee, because we do want to raise our kids in a good place too. And so we kind of have to learn from history and what has been done right and what hasn't been done properly, and how we can navigate that through the generations.
I love how God worked through this whole morning with Ryan and with Pastor, and then running into you here in front of the library. And I don't think I'm going to return the book yet. I haven't read it enough, but you need to get the old man from the public library.
And a Shawnee Outlook, and frame it. If you want me to autograph it, I will.
Fhionna, I'll see you later. I got to get back to work.
You?
Me.
What?
It's what I do. I work.
Okay, we'll see you.
Okay, so guys, thank you for giving me my space. Thank you for allowing me to go out alone and to just connect. Let me tell you, I went to a friend, Ryan Brooks. I sat down with Ryan. He was at the OBU campus. I went to a faith-filled individual, pastor, over at a local church that I had just visited. Cory didn't even want me to call him pastor. And then I get home and my daughter is on the cover of Shawnee Outlook, which is huge. I take it into my wife and she gives me a book. She says, oh yeah, that's sweet. You know, Fhionna gets a lot of attention, but I started to read this book and man, it reminded me of the library, our library situation, and we had gotten this in the library. And then Fhionna shows up. I mean, I had faith, I had family, and I had friends. And now I am pumped and could talk to the world.
The three F's.
What's that?
The three F's.
Faith, family, and fun. And all I was looking for going out there is I just wanted some friendly folks. That's all I was looking for. Friendly folks. Jay, when you go out, do you look for friendly folks? Are you friendly?
I'm probably the one they're saying that's not friendly.
Yeah.
They look at me and they go,
Yeah, no.
I'm not talking to him.
He knows his audio stuff, but you don't go talk to him.
Well, I certainly enjoyed talking with Ryan, first of all, and what he's doing at Uplift Mentoring. I mean, they actually are impacting 1,000 people plus every week through mentoring relationships. That is huge. OBU students going into the elementary schools. Is that not a great thing?
It's really great. I got a chance to go over there and actually go talk with Ryan, and just what they're doing over there is amazing. I actually got a shirt, and I've been wearing that shirt. It's a really nice shirt. Been wearing it around school. It's got a lot of attention. You're like, oh, that's a nice shirt. What did they do? And then I've been able to kind of tell people what Uplift does, and it's been great.
Well, I think it's awesome. And Jared, I think they go into some of the schools that your kids are in.
They do? I actually didn't know that. I did know from my wife, though, because she was a teacher at a school, and that was like the kids' favorite time was, I guess they call it Bison. He said Bison Buddies.
Yeah.
So is it still called Bison Buddies, or is it Uplift Mentoring?
Uplift Mentoring offers the program of Bison Buddies throughout the area schools. And Bison Buddies actually came from Anna Howell, who's the head volleyball coach, and a great part of Uplift Mentoring and everything that they do out in their partnerships through the community. And then I got to go see Cory over at the church. And you know, I like to talk about God. You guys know I like to talk about God. But when he described how simple, the example of God is for us as being, okay, just think about how Jesus would handle it. Dude, I love that. I mean, keep it simple. That's what I need in my faith.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
There's not much more to say to that. I mean, he kind of hit it up, and so did you. It's messy.
It is. It can be messy. Life can be messy. And then messy at the library. I'm sitting at the library with old men and the Shawnee Outlook. Fhionna walks up. How cool is that? She is such a sweetheart.
I definitely saw your face light up when you saw her.
Oh, well, and what the other two had said about my daughter really had already made the day. And then to be able to spend some time at lunch with my wife for a moment and her share with me, and then share with me such a great book, The Old Man. And this deals actually with homelessness. And it's a library book that I got at the library, which is the center of the epicenter of our hardship right now publicly, which is the homeless problem. And man, this really sheds some light on that problem. I recommend that everybody read it. Boys, before we leave today, you guys got to read this book. It's like a 5-second read.
Got homework tonight? Oh, man.
A little bit more. But that's our show for today, guys. Sorry I showed up, but I came back pumped. I was down when I showed up.
Okay, take a look at this quick video. There's like a little short here of him, Fhionna. See that? See that smile?
Wow.
Both of them.
Wow.
Yeah. That's why he likes to go out.
Yes, it's the love.
And she's one of 6. God has provided my wife and I 6 of those wonderful beings. And we do love to come in contact with you in our community. We want to talk with you. Like, subscribe, share, ring the bell.
Ding!
Make it happen in our community by getting out and talking to people. Thanks again for being with us today. We hope that you enjoyed it. And remember, all through the week, Shawnee, together we build community, one season at a time. Get out there and talk to people.
Yeah,
I ditto, maybe.
talking's nice. Do it.
We're out.
See ya.